Hello and welcome to the Manifest to Live Life Golden Show. I am Golden Duffy, your host, and I'm really excited to be back on the podcast today. When I take a little time off from you guys and I share stuff from the Golden Hour, I definitely miss you, and coming back to share my life experiences with you always gets me super excited. And I have a lot to share today. I have some things we've been processing over here at the Duffy Hub, and and I'm really, this is a conversation that we need to have, because I think what happens in life, and I know for my own life, I say this all the time, life is relentless. Like, it just keeps coming at you. And if you're not aware, if you're not awake and aware, and if you're not conscious about what's happening, it can beat the crap out of you. You can feel like you are in a cycle of negativity that you can't get out. So tomorrow, I'm actually going to have a guest on the Golden Hour. If you haven't checked out the Golden Hour, you need to. It's so good. I've had amazing guests on there. James Junta is coming back tomorrow. Super excited about that. He's a fabulous guest. He's a hypnotist. He's certified in drumming. He just understands vibration. He understands belief systems. And we're going to talk about getting out of negative cycles. But today is going to be a little bit different because it's going to be about what I've been experiencing. So you can catch the Golden Hour on E360 TV. There's an app for that you can actually get on your TV. Look for Achieve TV. You'll find the Golden Hour. If that's too much for you, you can go to my YouTube channel, Manifest to Live Life Golden. Click on the live option and you'll see the ton of interviews that I've done, plus the shows I've done on my own there. It's just another avenue for me to share wonderful guests, wonderful stories, and wonderful advice on how to navigate life in our highest vibration. So I promised a public service announcement too, and that's going to go along with what's been going on around here. So I've had a lot going on. There's been a lot of business stuff I've been doing. I'm up-leveling the program. My husband is coming on board. We have amazing stuff to share with you guys. I'm so excited. We've got live events planned. We're going to create a hub for all of our wonderful things that we're going to share with you. But it's been a lot and it's been intense. And I've been in an energy of a little bit of desperation, coming back into my power, taking my nature walks back, going into meditation more, getting more spiritual once again, and getting out of the illusion, that this is all there is. So with that said, I started to feel like a serious dip in my energy levels last week. And I wasn't sure because I started fasting. So I've been fasting until noon every day to see, I wanted to play around with this. I wanted to see how it works. I wanted to see what all the rage is about. And I kind of thought it was because of that I wasn't taking in enough food. So I went back to eating normally again, putting high vibrational stuff in my body, smoothies, proteins, vegetables, fruits, the whole thing, and still didn't feel good. And then I started to feel a little sore throat. And so Saturday morning, actually Friday, I had decided on Friday that Saturday was going to be a chill day, that I was going to kind of downshift and take some time and rest. And I got up on Saturday, I had a sore throat and I was just feeling down. You know how you just get down and you're just like, I don't feel good and my throat hurts. And you just kind of get into that like complaining mode and you're not feeling good. And I was talking to my husband in the kitchen and I took this water bottle right here. This is your public service announcement to never do this. So this is a metal water bottle and got this on Amazon. It's super cute. And it matches my nail polish. But it's a metal water bottle and it's 40 ounces. And I drink like 4 or 5 of these a day. So there's your public service announcement, drink more water. But what I did is I put stuff in it. I put electrolytes in it and I started to shake it, but I didn't shake it over the counter. I shook it over my feet and it slipped out of my hand and it landed on my foot. And wow, was there a lot of swearing that happened in that. So here I am, my foot is killing me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened. So when things like this happen, so public service announcement number 2 is don't ever shake your water bottle over your body. Like shake it over a counter because it could slip out of your hand and those things are heavy. It actually landed on my middle toe, which I'm incredibly grateful for. And we're going to talk about gratitude soon enough, but it landed on my middle toe. I felt like I broke all of my toes. Like that was the feeling that I had in the very beginning when you first feel that intense pain. So, I immediately sat down, we got some ice And then the adrenaline hits, and then you're like, okay, I think I'm okay. Like, I think I'm going to be okay. I don't think I broke any toes, And then I proceeded to go, okay, what was that about? And I wasn't being present. I was in a pity party, and I really wanted rest this weekend. And a lot of times when I profess to rest, I don't necessarily do that. I'm still doing stuff around the house. I still have things calling to me. But this was like, now you got to sit down. Now you got to sit down. Now you got to pay attention to yourself. Now is the time to start the healing game and get into a vibration of, what needs to change in my energy field so that I don't continue this crap, right? Because if we do this, if we go and we like hurt ourselves and then we get all pissed off about it and get all frustrated about it, we're in a negative cycle. And that negative cycle is just going to bring more things to the table for you to be frustrated and upset about. So I know this, right? Like I know this, I'm super aware of this. And I'm like, okay. So the first thing that happens, of course, is we regret, right? Like, why did I do that? Why didn't I do this morning? Why didn't I do that this morning? If I'd gone for a walk, I wouldn't have been doing that, right? Go through all of the regrets, which regrets are always resistance, the resistance to what happened and not accepting what happened. So there's no solution in that. You're very much in the problem. You're very much not accepting what is, and it doesn't allow for energy really to move in your favor, but it's a normal process. It's part of the process of navigating when less than optimal things happen. I think, damn, why didn't I just, have gratitude for my life before that happened and didn't put myself in a position where I was able to hurt myself? It's just a waste of energy. So I recognize that. I said a couple of things. My husband was like, yeah, well, it happened. What are you going to do? It's that whole saying that annoys a lot of people I know is like, it is what it is. Now, what do we do with it? Where's the lessons? What do I need to learn? What do I need to take from this? What is this telling me about my life? So when it comes to everything that's happening to your physical body, there's always an energetic component and a spiritual component. So there's something going on in your life that you need to look at. So of course, what do? I Google, which I do very often. I Google what the middle toe or toe injury means spiritually. And I love Louise Hay. She wrote, You Can Heal Your Life. She wrote a lot of things. She's actually was the owner of Hay House Books. She passed away about 3 years ago now. And she was amazing. And so she has these, spiritual reasons why things happen to you or energetic reasons why things happen to you. And the middle toe was communication, like your communication is off. And very interestingly, we had a couple of business talks last week with some people who are interested in working with us. And I definitely felt a little unheard. Now, I didn't take that on as like a wound or a trigger that I felt unheard. But afterwards, after thinking about it, I thought, my words were not being valued. And why is that? And why was I okay with that? So that was one of the lessons that I got from this toe injury that leads me to more, right? It leads me to more of knowing who I am and what I need to change. So, once I accepted that this happened and the reasons why it happened and energetically why it was happening, I started to heal. And the process of healing is really interesting because we are alchemists, right? Like we can transfer energy and we have the ability to heal. Our bodies are amazing. Like just what's been happening in my foot, and I will not show it to you because it's really gross, but just watching the bruising process of how the bruising moves around, it fascinates me. It really does. And the pain and how the pain is, in a certain area. And even this morning, I've been actually working with these energies, and I'm going to put out a recording really soon on how to heal your body in a meditative process, because I did a lot of this weekend, and I know that my foot is like I'm totally walking on it today. And what I've done to up level into the higher vibrations so that it doesn't become this huge problem. Now, it's not like a big serious injury, thank goodness. But even with big serious injuries or big serious illnesses, you have the power to heal your own body if you believe it, if you truly believe it. And I do believe it. There's a book out, Parallel Universes of Self, with Fred Dodson. I'm going to see if I can get him on the Golden Hour, but he's like one of my favorite authors. It's a super deep book, so I highly recommend you do it on audio. He healed a broken hand. He actually fell off of a bicycle and broke his hand. And he told the process of how he healed it, how he didn't accept that it was broken. And that was part of the process of what I did. So I'm going to share that with you guys really soon. We got a lot of stuff coming out of here, coming out of this little hub, and I'm going to share it all with you super soon. I'm not holding information, but I do have information that's going to help, and I want to do it in the most constructive way possible that's going to really help you. And today is going to help you. I promise. I have techniques that are going to help you to get out of the crappy stuff in your life. You know, I've shared a lot of times how the negative stuff, the crap, the low energy, you know, the low dense feelings, the limiting beliefs, all of those things that you're going through and the circumstances that are showing up in your life are always a reflection of something you have going on within. So the minute something less than optimal happens, I say to myself, what is going, like, where is my stuff in this? And why is this going on? I had a couple of things that have happened over the course of the last couple of weeks that have got me really paying attention to my output, paying attention to my thoughts, paying attention to how much time I'm meditating, how much time I'm spending in nature, how much time I'm, you know, spending on the computer. Geez Louise, way too much time on the computer, and what I can do to change that. I also have this little cough now, which is, I believe it's allergies, but I also firmly and strongly believe that it's part of an up level that's going on. So anytime you have illness, anytime you have injury, anytime you have things like this going on with your physical body, there is always something going on. There's like an up level that's happening, especially with illness. Stomach bugs are releasing, mucus is releasing, all of that stuff is clearing your body out from low vibrational stuff. And I've been doing a lot of up leveling on that limiting belief stuff about keeping myself small, you know, why isn't this going? What, you know, all those doubts and those things, like I've shed those, and now energetically my body is shedding them as well. All right. So one of the biggest things I think with injury is accepting that we need rest, accepting that it's time for us to receive some support, to receive some help. And that was one of the biggest things I saw, was like my family kind of kicked into, what can we do to help mom? My daughter did some things for me. My husband literally all weekend was just helping me and coming up with solutions. And yesterday he made me go down to the ocean, and I wasn't even sure I could walk on the sand. And he got me down to the ocean, and he let me, you know, made sure I put my foot in the ocean. The salt water, the healing capabilities of the ocean are just astronomical, and just letting that water wash over my foot made it feel so much better. And then we came home and he made this huge ice bucket full of ice, and he did it with me, which was amazing. That is really painful. We ice bathed our feet, and it was, both of us only lasted about 15 seconds. It was super painful. But this morning I woke up and the bruise had moved around. It had cleared a little bit, and I did a little bit of yoga this morning. Like, I'm feeling so much better. So being in that solution mode with whatever you have going on with you. One of the biggest things to remember when it's time to rest, when it's time to take a break, when physically you look out and you go, okay, I have to do this. Like, I'm sick, I have the flu, I have an injury, like I have to sit down. If you could do that beforehand and you could give yourself permission to do breaks beforehand, you wouldn't have to get sick. Now, I do believe sickness is part of our up leveling, but I also believe that, you know, if we could just pay attention more and meditate more and spend more time in nature and ground more and be outside more, I think we could definitely not need these things to happen. But again, I trust the process. I really trust the process. A while ago, my daughter had rolled her ankle, super bad injury, and she was 6 to 8 weeks. She was 6 to 8 weeks, like out of commission. And so, you know, that ankle stuff, if you look up ankle stuff, it's about support. It's about feeling unsupported. And through that ankle injury, she saw so much support. Like, so many people came to her aid. So many people helped her walk her dog and watch her daughter. And her daughter, oh my goodness, her daughter, who's going to be 6 this summer. We just had an incredible weekend with them last week. We spent July 4th with them, and just, oh my God, I just love my grandbaby so much. I call it the cleanest love on the planet. It's like, she's just precious to me. We had precious, precious family time. And her daughter had kicked into like support mode of taking care of her mom and putting herself to bed. And, those are the things that help us to up level relationships and up level our experience here, even though they're less than optimal. They show us something different. And all of your negative experiences are showing you something different if you're paying attention, if you're aware, if you're awake, if you're ready for the lesson. If you open yourself up to receive it, you will absolutely get it. Okay. Some of you are in some downward cycles. I know I've seen this. I see it a lot on Facebook, the ones that share, truthfully and authentically. And I get messages very often where people are just trying to navigate and they're trying to figure out how to get out of this low level living where they're just in survival mode and they're in struggle. And I feel you. I totally feel you because I've been there, and whatever the issue is, I did a little reel on this the other day. Whatever the issue is, the greatest thing we can do is send different energy. So pay attention to the energy that you have been sending, right? So let's say, let's say you just constantly feel broke and every time a bill comes, you freak out and you have anxiety, right? That's a cycle. And that's a cycle that will continue to create constriction in your life and not having enough consistently. So if you want to change that, when you get the bill in the mail, you have to take a deep breath and you have to say, how am I going to respond to this? I'm going to respond to this like an abundant person would respond to it. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to be okay with it. I'm going to say, you know what? This bill isn't due today. I can't wait to see what manifests from this. And I'm going to put myself in the best place energetically to receive, which means I'm going to notice abundance all around me. I'm going to meditate more. I'm going to spend more time in nature. I'm going to relax. I'm not going to worry. Worry sends the wrong energy to the field. If you have people in your life that you're concerned about, if you have an illness you're concerned about, if you have finances you're concerned about, all of that worry does is just construct more of that energy. So you got to stop worrying. And I know it's hard. We need to interrupt those thoughts sometimes a million times. Having a mantra is super helpful. I have faith that all things work out for me. My mantra with my toe is, I am healing. I am whole. I am healing and I am receiving the lesson. That's what it was with that. So, life is not kicking your ass. What's happening is you are in a cycle of receiving low vibrational things because of the way you're thinking, the way you're getting up every day, the way you're conducting. Now think about this. When I woke up that morning, instead of feeling like gratitude that I was home in my beautiful home with my beautiful family, my husband was going to be with me all weekend. I just had a great week with my family. Instead of doing that, I was just like, ugh, I don't feel good. I have a sore throat. I was in that low level vibration instead of turning myself towards, and we're not perfect, you guys. Like, this is a journey and we are doing our best to navigate it. So no one ever told us this. No one ever told us if we woke up happy, if we felt more gratitude, if we looked at the bright side of life, that things would work out for us. Maybe they did tell you that. And maybe you need reminding of that today. All right. So this is when when life starts coming at us and negative things happen. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Like a couple weeks ago, I had back issues. I still am still struggling with a little bit of pain in my hip, but it's a ton better because I got in solution mode. I got a massage. I've been walking. I've been doing yoga, doing all the things that I need to do for my physical body. We're looking at different standing desks and different chairs I can sit on to help alleviate this problem. So it kind of started with the back pain and then the foot thing, the sore throat. I'm just like, enough already. You're just getting that like, oh my God, life, just stop coming at me like this, right? So, and that can happen in a lot of different areas of your life, your finances, your relationships. If all of your relationships are turning to shit, you got to look at yourself and ask yourself, what am I conducting from? What is the energy that I'm putting out that I am actually attracting back? So we got to stop the insanity. We got to stop the downward cycles. We got to stop the insanity. We got to decide that we're going to start vibrating at a different level and start taking our power back. The greatest technique, okay, we ready for this? The greatest technique we have for turning the tides in our favor, for shifting the energy field is so simple, but it is so taken for granted and it is so not valued. And it was the number one thing that I did to promote healing and a feeling of satisfaction of going through this. And that's gratitude. I know it seems really simple, but gratitude is the jet fuel to manifestation. Gratitude is turning the tides in your favor by looking at what you love, by looking at what you're grateful for, remember, the highest vibrations in life are love and appreciation. When you are in gratitude, you are loving. It's the same energy field. You are loving your life. You're loving your experience. So I went directly into gratitude, like, thank gosh, thank goodness, thank God, so thankful that I hit my middle toe on the top of my toe, because that meant I could pretty much walk. So I haven't been like incapacitated and not able to walk. I literally feel I hit my foot in the perfect spot for the greatest potential for healing, the top of my foot, and the greatest potential for navigation. Now, if you have something a little more serious and you broke your foot or you rolled your ankle, that was the other place that I went, because about 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, I did roll my ankle. I was actually playing volleyball at a friend's house, and they had like divots in their lawn, and my foot went in and completely popped my ankle. Like, I heard a pop. It was so gross. So I tore ligaments in my ankle. Longest healing process ever. I was on crutches. I was in a wheelchair when we were shopping with the girls for school, back to school clothes, which I actually kind of liked, being pushed around in a wheelchair and not having to walk. A lot of people had to help me. A lot of support showed up. But I realized at that point in my life that I felt like I didn't have support. I felt like I was doing a lot of things on my own because my husband was working all the time and I was taking care of the kids. So show that support that started to show up, that made me realize this is why I was experiencing this and how do I shift it? So complete gratitude for the past, for something that happened to me in the past. And this was not even a quarter of what that was. So I was super grateful that it was just a hurt toe that got me back in the game and helped me to realize where my energy field is and what I'm doing. And this is not to make you afraid, because every thought doesn't manifest, but our feelings and our emotions do. So you want to get really clear on the way you're waking up every day, what you're presenting every day. What are you corresponding to the universe every day? What are you sending out? You know, by what's reflecting back to you. You know that if a bunch of crap has been happening to you, you're the number one conductor. You're conducting from an energy field that's causing this in your life. So you have to shift it. You have to send different energy to different things that have been causing you to feel super low. Gratitude is the single most up-leveling tool, because it shifts us out of this little dimensional thinking, like this little illusionary thinking, which keeps us in a box, which keeps us, it's always kind of like focused on the woe is me energy, which is very victimhood mentality. And it's always focused on just this limited perspective. Instead of like scrolling out, I actually saw a red-tailed hawk the other day. We have a lot of hawks around here. So some could say that's not miraculous, but I always think it's miraculous when a hawk takes off from a place and kind of flies right in front of me. And I caught it. Like, it's seconds, but I caught it. Like, that energy of catching that hawk right in flight makes me pay attention. And the hawk's messages don't get so nitty-gritty in the details. Scroll out a little bit. Hawks have incredible perspective. They fly high and they can see the bigger picture. So I'm looking at the bigger picture and I'm going, okay, what needs to change in my life experience? Where's my growing edge in this? And what does this little foot injury tell me? And you can do this with anything, anything that's coming to you, anything that's happening to you. It's always an experience to be learned from. So how are you able to be grateful when you drop a water bottle on your foot? Maybe you've never done that before, but I can honestly tell you the gratitude that I felt for the help I got from my kids, the help I got from my husband, for not being able to do my regular routine stuff that I probably was taking for granted, like, oh, I got to go for a walk. I've been doing 10,000 steps a day, and it's a lot. It's like an hour and 45 minutes of walking, and I've been super dedicated to it and really challenging myself to hit my goal every day. And I'm like, oh, great, now I can't do it. Well, what can I do? What can I do? So my husband and I talked last night, and I'm like, I need to bike. I've been wanting to bike more. I have a beautiful bike. So he went and pumped up the tires and got the bike ready for me. And I'm going to head out this afternoon for a little bike ride because that's something I can do. So it's asking yourself, what can I do instead of becoming a lazy slump? The other thing I can do is I can eat really well. So if I'm worried about, gaining that never-ending roller coaster ride of not being active enough to keep myself fit, healthy, and strong, I can eat really well. I had a really beautiful smoothie this morning. I had vegetables and eggs for lunch, like just the things that we can do to fuel our body, to get ourselves back energetically and get ourselves balanced. The other thing I did was I meditated a lot this week, like 3 times a day. And the reason why I do that, well, part of it is because my physical body is asking for it. Like I'm so exhausted, I just need to lay down and I'm not sleeping. I actually put on a guided meditation. I love the Silva Alpha meditations. And I don't usually, I have not been slipping into sleep. Sometimes I do, but even in that, you're really just in that higher consciousness state where a lot of things can be formulated, where you can actually create visualizations and feelings. So I've been doing a lot of that work because I want, more than ever, I know it's important to connect to higher consciousness, to connect to the infinite potential field because of what I'm doing, because of what I'm teaching, and because of what I want to bring to the world. That is my work. The meditation is the work. The dealing with my emotions is the work. The dealing with the feelings is my work. So super important. Okay. Remembering that time when it was worse may not feel good to you, but it felt great to me to just go, wow, this is not like a major ankle injury where I'm going to be laid up for 6 weeks. This is literally like a toe thing that I didn't know how long I was going to take, but I pretty much decided it was only going to be a few days of inconvenience. So by today, I pretty much have my foot on the floor, and I'm able to put a little bit of pressure on it and it's not super painful. So I'm super thankful for that. All right. So feeling gratitude helps you to rise up. It helps you to take care of you and really helps you to step into a place where your body can heal more quickly. Now think about this for a second. Our bodies are healing mechanisms. I've shared this before. I had Dr. Josh Sharp on my show. I had Dr. Benjamin Benulis on my show on the Golden Hour, which you can check out on E360 TV or live on my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. My YouTube channel is blown up, and let's get some more subscribers in there because I can offer more through that forum as well. So like, share, subscribe. I don't know what they say. That's what they say. So your body is a healing mechanism. Your body is much more likely to heal when you are in a more euphoric state. When we are in a state of presence. I found myself extremely present yesterday. Like I had no thoughts. I just kind of kept looking out at the world and asking the big questions and paying attention to what was going on and enjoying life at a different level. When you're in those states of euphoria, your body downloads chemicals, serotonin, dopamine, things that allow your body to heal because you're not in resistance to what's happening and you're not in a negative place that's pumping other energies, other hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Yes, when you worry, when you're stressed, your body pumps cortisol. That cortisol actually makes you gain weight. It actually depletes your life force. It actually creates really bad health. So we have to work on those energies and where we're allowing our mind to go, because our mind is what triggers the emotions. So where are the gifts, right? Where are the gifts in everything we're going through? So here's a couple of other things you can do. I will share, I did a meditation and a healing on my foot energetically, and I'm going to share that process soon. But for now, you can journal. I have this beautiful book here. I've been getting a lot of feedback. If you can review me on Amazon, that would be super helpful. The Mindful Manifestation Secrets Daily Guide and Journal. It's a beautiful book. It really is. And there's like tons of pages in here for you to journal. There's prompts. There's super like 100 pages of information on how to have this daily guide to put yourself in the highest vibrational place possible. You can get that on Amazon. You got to put in the whole title and you got to put in my name because they buried it. But this book has been an incredible resource for processing emotions and for placing yourself in a high vibration. So that's a great one. I also have Mindful Manifestation Secrets. That is the process to manifesting. It's how we moved from Connecticut to California and sold everything we owned. It's a great story. I have a lot of stories in there, pictures of my family, and it's just a great guide to manifesting. It's also a great thing to like open up just like sporadically and see what messages are in there for you. Okay. So journaling, meditation. Here's my meditation. I actually think we are getting ready. No, I know we are getting ready to launch another M21 revolution. Woo! If you're not in that group, go to Facebook, M21. I don't know if I have that in here. I don't think I do. M21 Revolution. I'm going to have to put that in there. M21 Revolution, search that group on Facebook and ask to join. We're starting on August 1st. It's donation based. We have to have 21 people that are ready to join and are going to commit to us for the next 21 days. It will get you, it'll get you plugged into a meditation practice. We do quotes every day. We do videos. There's tons of guided meditations in there. I do that with my partner, Jess Komkowski. We've been together on this journey for 5 or 6 years doing the M21 together. And we just throw out these 21-day challenges where you can learn to meditate. You can be with us. You can get feedback. You can be part of a community that is interested in living in the higher states of consciousness and changing the consciousness of the world. So here is my meditation teaching as well. You can go to my website to purchase that. I think it's like $47 to really have like the guidance, but M21 will really help you with that as well. All right. So how can I be grateful? How can I be grateful in this moment? Will always shift you out of low vibrational thinking. Now, it may take some time because if you've been in a low vibe for a while, you have momentum. So think about energy. Energy has momentum, right? And our neural pathways, those things in our brain, have momentum. I always say it's like going on a roller coaster ride. The moment, I think it's like 16 seconds and then another 16 seconds. And then once you get to 68 seconds, you're on the ride because at 68 seconds, your emotion starts to get evoked. That's why every thought doesn't manifest. Once your emotions start to get evoked, you're going for the ride and you're probably going to manifest more things that are like it. Now, if you're really awake and really aware, you can stop this process in the beginning and not have physical manifestation. I'm super awake, I'm super aware, and I still dropped a water bottle on my foot. So we're not perfect, right? And there were lessons in that water bottle dropping that I needed so I could share them with you. I'm like, this is great content, right? This is great content. What do you do when things aren't going your way? You stop. You stop the insanity. You stop the cycle. You ask yourself, what am I thinking and what am I feeling and why am I conducting this type of reflection? That is the greatest way to do it. And how can I be grateful? How can I step back into gratitude so that I can level up? We're leveling up. I'm going to pull my thoughts up. If you, a lot of times what happens to me, especially if I'm home a lot, which I am home a lot, and this weekend was all about, being home because I needed to rest. I can get into some low level thinking and a little bit of depression. And so I was really aware of that. And I just kept pulling my thoughts up. I'm so thankful to be here in my beautiful home. I'm so thankful that I have healthy food. I'm so thankful that I have a wonderful husband that helps take care of me. I'm so thankful that I'm on this incredible journey of life with so many amazing and wonderful people that I get to share this stuff with, that I don't just drop a water bottle on my foot and nobody ever knows about it, right? Like I'm using it. I'm using it to the ultimate advantage. And you can do that as well with anything that's going on in your life, you can absolutely use to your advantage. All right. So all things are calling you to something. look for the lessons, search for the deeper spiritual meanings in everything, and your life's journey will feel different. You will become different. You will create different, and you will learn much more quickly so that the universe doesn't have to give you these lessons after lessons after lessons to finally get you to wake up. I've heard people talk about it's like getting hit over the head with a brick. It's like I had all these signs that were telling me to pay attention and I didn't. So then this terrible thing happened. So pay attention and become more aware, and you don't have to take it to that level anymore. It can be a much smoother ride, a much less rocky ride when we're awake and aware and we're taking those lessons. There are deep, meaningful messages in everything. Every interaction, every relationship, every circumstance that you find yourself in, there is a deeper meaning. And if you go searching for it, if you get super curious, if you allow your mind to quiet, if you meditate, if you contemplate, if you look around you and become present, you'll get the lessons. And when you get the lessons, you become more, you expand and grow. I mean, you're always expanding and growing. Remember, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy says we are always moving. Energy is always moving. What keeps us feeling stuck is our own insistence that we're stuck. Our own insistence to stay the same, our own insistence to keep thinking the same things and doing the same things that doesn't allow the energy field to change, because we are the greatest conductors. All right. I love you all. I'm super pumped about this podcast still. And I'm really excited for all the things that are to come. We have some incredible things planned. My husband and I, we're going to partner up and do some really cool things, and we'll be in touch about that really soon. But in the meantime, if you want more of this, please check out the Goldyn Hour. Become a viewer of the Goldyn Hour, because I have some brilliant souls that I've connected with that are coming on the show. I trust in the energy of that, and it could be good stuff for you, just more good stuff for you to take in, more good messages. That's one of the greatest things that we can do is feed our minds. We feed our bodies with good things. We got to feed our minds with good things. So listening to things that are up-leveling you, that are bringing in new energy, that are bringing in new awarenesses are the greatest ways for you to expand and grow. All right. I love y'all. Peace.